Hello there, and on today's wrestling news, John Cena set to return very soon.
A Raw superstar made a surprise appearance on NXT last night.
Karrion Kross destroyed Samoa Joe on NXT, let's just put it like that.
And Candy Cartwright has dropped her lawsuit against Matt Riddle. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Ben Roy Turner.
And this is the news.
Right, we should really start off with the big thing in the room, the one we can't see, the elephant, John Cena. So it seems after 1,000 reports that have been coming from here, there and everywhere that he's finally set to return. We know he's coming at SummerSlam. That's been almost dead set. And there were rumours that I was seeing from Sean Ross Sapp that people were like counter tweeting him about that maybe John Cena's not going to be returning because of his Fast 10 filming and all that. But we should get to the meat of the story, and it looks like John Cena is set to return on the July 23rd episode of SmackDown. This is the one that he's actually going to be there at. The rumours that he might be there beforehand, but July 23rd, the month of America being born, 4th of July, here we go. John Cena's the American hero. John Cena's back, but we won't see him. What do you think, Adam?
I'm really excited. I've said from the beginning, I've always thought this was going to be on the cards. There was obviously, like you say, speculation about him not actually returning at SummerSlam because of his filming schedule, but I always thought they'd find a way around that because Roman Reigns versus John Cena is one of the biggest matches they can book right now and the right thing to do. Obviously, some people said maybe he'll be back on this SmackDown, although that wouldn't really make a lot of sense, what with having to get Money in the Bank out of the way. So effectively, the Fallout show following Money in the Bank, the first step on the road to SummerSlam, makes a whole whack of sense. And yeah, absolutely cannot wait to see him back. Interesting to see how they deal with the whole Fiend storyline that he dealt with. But
back from the Shadow Realm, back from the dead.
Yeah, him versus Roman Reigns is the right way to go, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I don't mind. No one should mind bringing back, quote, legends. Or it's weird to call John Cena a legend from the time of wrestling that we've all been alive. But yeah, give someone big for SummerSlam. Like, if the crowds are properly going to be back, especially by then. So let's just do it. Let's kick off the second half of the wrestling year-ish with a bang.
Exactly, and my continued streak of getting every single prediction right rolls on. Right, let's continue and talk about last night's NXT. Lots to fill you in on, including what went down with Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe. But before we get there, let's talk about a Raw superstar who made a surprise appearance. Mandy Rose made her, I suppose, sort of return to NXT. She was barely there for a minute, certainly on TV for like one match or something. Not many matches, let's be perfectly honest. But yes, she appeared midway through a match on last night's NXT between Sarray and Gigi Dolin, the former Priscilla Kelly, to sort of take a view on what was going down there. And she also popped up later on in a backstage segment featuring the rapidly reorganizing Robert Stone brand. She tweeted, "I'm back." And people seem to think that this means she is returning to NXT, which makes sense, aside from the fact, Ben Roy, I thought she was still in a feud for the tag titles.
I just edited the Raw Ups and Downs the other day, and I'm pretty sure nobody meaner than Tamina pushed her. Maybe Tamina pushed her so hard, she pushed her out of the show and onto a different day. Maybe Maddie Rhodes forgot where she was, and she's just now... Maybe she's in a different realm, just like John Cena is, and that's how John Cena can escape, because the whole space-time continuum's been ripped open. I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know if NXT needs it right now.
No, we're going to talk a little bit more about this when we get to a Twitter question about it in a few minutes' time. But of all the people that they're not utilising on the main roster, surreal that they chose Mandy Rose to pop back to NXT. But yeah, they clearly have some sort of plan for her. I sense the two things with the Robert Stone brand and Gigi Dolin and Sarray weren't exactly connected. But she quite obviously wants to do something on the black and gold brand. And yeah, be excited to see what they do next with her.
I just can see them not winning the tag titles anytime soon.
No.
But from the Shadow Realm, I think with this story connects nicely as well, because it seems Karrion Kross has sacrificed the soul of Samoa Joe to bring back John Cena after he pretty much destroyed his opponent in the ring after he pretty much just won the title flat out. Karrion Kross is still the NXT World Heavyweight Champion of the universe, and I don't see him losing it anytime soon. Do you at this point? Johnny Gargano tried, but at the same time, I don't think it was ever going to happen, and now both their souls, I think, have helped John Cena become human again.
Yeah, I thought maybe Samoa Joe's being the special guest referee in that match with Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT Championship last night. Maybe there was going to be something there. There's obviously speculation on Karrion Kross moving up to the main roster, but now with this horrific attack on Samoa Joe after the match, choking him out. I mean, it's always been said that he can't do anything unless he's provoked. Fairly certain this is big provocation for Samoa Joe. So that maybe he could be the guy to take the title off Karrion Kross, and then they can do stuff with Adam Cole. And yeah, I always assumed if they were going to do it just long term, maybe Kyle O'Reilly would finally have this lovely redemption arc. But I don't know if that's the case anymore. I think maybe Samoa Joe could be the guy to take it off him. But it certainly seems like Samoa Joe could be, properly returning to a wrestling ring off the back of this attack.
Which I think we all want. We all want those chants. Joe's going to kill you. You all want the Samoan submission machine to return. I just always harken back to the days of him in TNA just killing everyone. We never got him a main title run on the main roster, or we kind of with the United States. But I would love to see him get one. I say one last run. He's probably got 5 or 6 years left in his career. But after he recovers from this sacrificial ceremony from last night, I hope that he is well soon.
Yeah, I think he'd be the perfect opponent going forward for Karrion Kross. And I don't know, I've got a little bit of a thing for someone taking off the suit and getting back into their wrestling gear, despite how much Triple H has kind of ruined that. And I think if it's going to be anyone to take that title off Karrion Kross to allow him to transition onto the main roster, it's Samoa Joe, isn't it? Right, let's conclude with our final story of today. Some serious news surrounding that lawsuit that's been going on for ages now between Candy Cartwright, real name Samantha Table, and one Matt Riddle, because apparently on Monday, according to TMZ Sports, Candy Cartwright dismissed her multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Matt Riddle. Obviously, this all kicked off during the speaking out allegations. We're not going to speculate around this story for understandable reasons. No word yet on whether this has just been dropped by Candy Cartwright or whether they've reached some sort of monetary settlement out of court with Riddle. We're not going to speculate, as I said, though, and I'll just leave it to Cartwright's attorney, who said the parties have put this in their past and are focused on the future.
I just hope all parties will be happy at the end of this in some way, if there is a way for everyone to be happy. So that's all I have to say.
Yeah, exactly. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch with us today. Tom Wells starts us off. Tom says, what do you think about Big E winning Money in the Bank? Yes. Kofi beating Lashley in the main event, and then E turning on the New Day to cash in. It would be a huge shock for the first pay-per-view back in front of a full house. What do you reckon, Ben Roy?
Let's just break the mold and never have this team turn on each other. They're basically broken up now. Like, come on, we know that they might come along and all wear the same suit or outfit when they're all together on a pay-per-view, but because this split up between shows is obviously a thing that certain people want that to happen, but obviously the weird thing with the New Day, like they're so conjoined and tight together, like their pay is all based around each other as well, like they have the same rate. So just if they don't want to split up, and if it's going to be for like a month run before Big E goes, I'm bad and evil, just don't do it. Don't need it. Let's just split someone else up instead. We were splitting Mandy Rhodes and Dana Brooks up, so that's already broken my heart.
Yes, exactly. Look, you had 2/3 of it right, Tom. Big E winning Money in the Bank and Kofi winning the world title is great booking for Sunday. I love Bobby Lashley as WWE champion, but it would be big surprise on the big first pay-per-view with fans, not counting WrestleMania, of course. And Big E winning Money in the Bank, yes, please. But like you say, they don't need to split the New Day up. They can go off and do single stuff. Xavier Woods can do single stuff if you want. He deserves a bloody title or a King of the Ring. I know I was reading again yesterday about Vince, how desperate he was to break up the New Day, and them saying like, no, we can just go on as opposite brands. So yes, this is a group who should never ever split up. They should just be allowed to go their separate ways and still be mates. Right, let's move on to the second question of the day from Ramen Soup 43, who says, would it be a good idea for WWE to continuously weave in and out underused talent on the main roster as mentor or manager roles in NXT on a quarterly basis, or even as a longer term storytelling device, possibly spanning into the main shows? This linked, of course, to Mandy Rose popping up on NXT. More of that sort of thing, Ben Roy?
I would have said yes. Maybe if NXT was more of a developmental thing, or if we were going back to the good old days of NXT when we had pros and we had rookies when like the likes of the Miz were making sure that Daniel Bryan got a good start in this world because like Daniel Bryan obviously needed it. But no. Like, who on the main roster do you see even helping anyone in NXT? Like, at this point, I feel like it's, even though they've got like 74,000 wrestlers signed, I don't think there's the caliber that anyone who's not involved in the main program to go back to NXT when NXT is almost seen as an equal now. It's weird.
Yeah, I think the mental thing certainly less so. Like you say, it would be akin to the Miz saying, "Oh, Bryan Danielson, I'll show you how to wrestle. You're pretty new around here." Like you say, a lot of the people down in NXT don't need that, whether on or off camera. But I think having them pop up for certain feuds, I've long advocated for something like Dolph Ziggler coming down and basically saying like, "Oh, you bloody rookies, you're all crap," and then just having someone just showcase their abilities. I suppose a bit like Bronson Reed challenging Adam Cole. It's similar. Adam Cole obviously has just always been in NXT. But Cesaro obviously could do wonderful stuff down there if they're just going to, stick him in a mid-card on the main roster, have him be a higher level star over on NXT. But yeah, you have to be careful with this because someone like Brock Lesnar, for example, they're not going to do it obviously, but someone like Brock Lesnar popping up in NXT will make everyone else look really, really small. So yeah, maybe no one over 6 foot can go down to NXT, but anyone else who fancies it, if you're not going to do anything with Chad Gable, and they are doing something right now, he would be perfect to enter into NXT and just absolutely steal the show on any takeover possible. But I think yes, but with a limit. Don't just toy anyone you can't be asked to use, basically.
Let's have an invasion. I love a good invasion or a war, and I love the time when Becky Lynch came down to NXT. That was a good time. That whole era where we everyone cared about brand loyalty for like 5 minutes. That was good, but Yeah.
We're coming up to that month again where people suddenly care what colour t-shirt they're wearing. Final question today comes from a birthday boy, Mark Solid, who says, "Morning, gents. Hoping to get a birthday shout out. Just turned 27. Happy birthday, Mark."
Happy birthday.
Thoughts on WWE creating 6-man tag titles to utilise more talent to hopefully stop so many cuts? They can do a big call-up and bring talent just waiting in NXT. Trios titles. Where have I heard this before, Ben Roy?
No, I'm just gonna say no. I remember back in 2007 on Wikipedia discovering that there was such thing as a trios title once in wrestling. I was like, oh, that'd be fun, but not in the current state where there are so many. I love belts. I love gold belts, as you can see over there. But there are so many titles now that you probably can't because of the split screen. But there are so many titles that you get rid of the 2 tag titles and then have, say, 1 set of tag titles and 1 set of trios maybe. But this sort of thing should already be on AEW. That's what I'm saying, Alan. Let's keep it on AEW.
Yeah.
And let's give it to the Death Triangle because Penta, bless him, needs a belt so he can, with his big tongue, and lick it.
Yeah, I think trios titles should happen yesterday in AEW, especially because they've got lots of trios that it work for. I think the problem you have with WWE is they already hoid 2 people together. Now they'd hoid 3 people together into a tag team, and we've got, like you say, more than enough belts in WWE. I'd say consolidate the men's tag titles, if I'm perfectly honest, and consolidate 100%. The women's tag titles across the main roster in NXT. You didn't need the 2 different ones, in my opinion. So I'd do that. But yeah, no need for trios titles in WWE. But yes, please, in AEW. Right, let's finish up with today's and finally. And just want to say a massive congratulations and thank you and well done to everyone who raised over $10,000 on Sami Zayn's birthday. Happy belated birthday to Sami Zayn for the Sammy for Syria mobile clinic. Sami tweeted, "Thank you all for making this 37-year-old boy's birthday wish come true and for donating to help provide medical care to the displaced Syrian population. So grateful for all of you. Thank you." What a lovely gesture, Ben Roy.
What a lovely man. And I carry on to enjoy Sami Zayn just doing what he wants to do to help people, regardless of what anyone says or what any pushback he might get. So keep doing it, Sami. Good job. And also fight Kevin Owens forever.
Yes, exactly. And for God's sake, WWE, Give him something. He's such a nice man. You shouldn't just get it just for being nice. He's incredibly talented as well. But he should have been in Money in the Bank. Come on. But yes, congratulations to everyone and thank you and well done for raising such an incredible amount. SammyForSyria.com if you want to obviously get involved in that. Right, let's know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Got the NXT review and the AEW Dynamite Fyter Fest Night 1 preview to come later on today. Plus, you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow Ben Roy at
Ben Roy Turner.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. But for now, my thanks to Ben Roy. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Just an update from Andy Murray in the field. He's had haggis, so don't worry.